Tune Review Print Speaking to the Blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @TuneReview. That is @CUEANDREVIEW. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@tunereview.com. That is INFORMATION@CUEANDREVIEW.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast, Wednesday the 19th of April 2023, is read to you by Alan, Corey, Hunter and Ian. Your views sought by Morag Cook. People have been invited to help develop exciting plans that support investment, businesses and jobs in Bishopbriggs. Consultation has been held on the Wester Hill Regeneration Area Framework Master Plan between April the 11th and May the 16th. It's a chance for people, businesses and groups to steer regeneration of the 370 hectare Wester Hill site, part of the Council's £34.88 million Place and Growth Programme, supported by the UK and Scottish Governments through the Glasgow City Region City Deal. The master plan will be a long-term, overall framework for the development of land parcels and will be used as guidance for future planning applications. It also identifies land for the delivery of the Wester Hill Development Road, formerly referred to as Bishopbriggs Relief Road Phase 5, which will be the focus of a separate public consultation this summer. You can get involved by checking out an interactive online exhibition and having a say at www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/westerhill-2023 and attending a drop-in event on Wednesday, April 19th at Bishopbriggs War Memorial Hall, Bimildy Road, from 5pm until 8pm, where the design team will be on hand to discuss the proposals in greater detail. You can also collect a printed copy of proposals and a comment form from Bishopbriggs Library. The Wester Hill area is identified as a regeneration site in the Council's adopted long-term development plan. Long-term objectives of the master plan, subject to external funding being secured, include the refurbishment of vacant buildings and improvements to the existing Wester Hill industrial estate, the protection and enhancement of the high and low moss areas and peat soil, the creation of green links and health and wellbeing improvements via path accessibility, active travel, public transport and open spaces, road improvements, a potential mix of uses such as business, research and development, manufacturing and outdoor leisure. Councillor Gordon Lowe, leader of East Dunbartonshire Council, said, "Our vision includes the creation of new jobs, better connections and good quality, energy efficient developments. We want to bring underused and derelict industrial land back to life while protecting the local environment and prioritising active travel and sustainability. Please get involved if you can." The City Deal project, in conjunction with Strathclyde Partnership for Transport and Glasgow City Council, will see an integrated approach to improve infrastructure within East Dunbartonshire and the north of Glasgow, with three main elements: Bishopbriggs Town Centre regeneration, delivery of the Wester Hill Development Road, formerly referred to as Phase 5 of the Bishopbriggs Relief Road, and a master plan for Wester Hill, improvements to the A803 route corridor. The Scottish Government's Cabinet Secretary for Wellbeing Economy, Fair Work and Energy, Neil Gray, said, "It is important local voices are heard when planning future development of our places. Bringing vacant and derelict industrial land back to use is a priority to ensure investment reaches the areas that need it most. This project also encourages active travel and use of public transport, which will be key to delivering a net zero economy." And that report was written by Morag Cook and read by me, Ian McKenna. This week in history, April 19, 1956, Prince Rainier III of Monaco married actress Grace Kelly. On this day last year, Chinese pianist Lang Lang announced he would donate hundreds of keyboards to British schools to help bring music to children in disadvantaged communities. April 20th, 1972, Apollo 16 landed on the moon. April 21st, 1945, Ivor Novello's Perchance to Dream opened at the London Hippodrome with his now classic song We'll Gather Lilacs. The show ran to 1,022 performances. On this day last year, the Queen's 96th birthday was marked with the release of a picture showing her indulging her passion for horses and ponies. April 22nd, 1969, yachtsman Robin Notch Johnson sailed into Falmouth to complete his 312-day, non-stop, round-the-world voyage. April the 23rd, 1968, the first decimal coins appeared in Britain. They were the 5p and 10p pieces which replaced the old 1 shilling and 2 shilling coins. On this day last year, nature lovers were urged to enjoy the fleeting seasonal spectacle of a spring blossom to help boost their well-being. April 24th, 1950, President Truman denied there were communists in the US government.
Retirement is just not for Sally. 29 years ago, Bishopbriggs lady Sally Stevens answered a job advertisement in the Kirkintilloch Bishopbriggs Herald for the role of Slimming World consultant. The job description sounded exciting, so Sally decided to accept Slimming World's offer in February 1994 to train as a consultant to open a local evening group in Bishopbriggs. Sally promoted the group, and on her first night 14 new members came through the doors. She worked hard and members began to lose weight and achieve weight loss goals. Her group was fun and informative, but also gave members loads of motivation and support to lose weight to become fitter and healthier. Within a few months, Sally's class was bursting at the seams as her members lost inches and weight. Not before long, it had been more than 100 members. With the success of the Bishopbriggs group, Sally opened more groups in Kirkintilloch, Bearsden and Springburn. All were very successful, and Sally went from strength to strength, helping local people lose weight. As the years went on, Sally cut back on the number of groups she ran. She said, "When my grandchildren came along, I wanted to spend more time with them, so I handed over my groups to successful members who trained as consultants and now run them with every success I had. I kept my morning group in Kirkintilloch and even ran the group virtually during COVID with the help of Zoom." Sally decided to hang up her scales in April 2021 at the age of 67 and spend more time with her family and friends. But she always felt something was missing in her life. After 2 years as a pensioner, Sally decided to come out of retirement and open a brand new group. She said, "I heard a comment from Gloria Hunniford that the word retirement wasn't in her vocabulary. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and one Monday morning woke up and said to my husband that I was going back to Slimming World. So that morning, I went to visit Woodhill Evangelical Church in Bishopbriggs to ask if they had any mornings available for me to open a new group. Luckily, they had Fridays. I was delighted. I then called Slimming World to ask if I could come back, and they welcomed me back with opened arms. The last few weeks have been manic. I've been to training and preparing to sit with my Slimming World diplomas again, and I've invested in good walking shoes as I have been pounding the streets of Bishopbriggs, delivering leaflets and posters, and I'm loving every minute. Being a Slimming World consultant is a hugely rewarding role. It's a role that gives the unique satisfaction of helping people to live healthier, happier lives. The time is right for me to come back to Slimming World. I genuinely love helping people with their weight loss journey and can't wait to open my group on Friday mornings in Woodhill Evangelical Church on April 21st. For more details of Sally's new group, call her on 07882 367 988. That's 07882 367 988. Read by Alan Todd.
No more fees for late return of library items as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Those returning library items past the return date will no longer have to pay a late fee. In line with the National Strategy for Libraries, which shows a commitment to remove charges from public libraries, EDLC library users will no longer face a charge. Although charges will be waived, borrowing times for books, e-books, audiobooks and CDs will remain at 3 weeks and DVDs and console games 1 week. Members will still be required to return items on time or extend their borrowing period. If a hired item has not been requested by another user, members can renew their return date online, by phone or by popping into any EDLC library in person. Jim Neal, Chair of East Dunbartonshire Culture and Leisure Trust, said, "We want to make EDLC libraries a welcoming place for everyone and to encourage East Dunbartonshire residents of all ages to come in and see what their local library has to offer. We know these are financially challenging times, so please don't be put off returning to your local library if you are late to return an overdue book. However, I would urge members to consider other library users. If you haven't finished with your borrowed item, please log into the website or give the library a call and get the loan renewed. It is important we ensure everyone has an opportunity to access the variety of reading and audio-visual materials we have available. New members can join EDLC libraries either online or in person at any local library." Board urges patients to return used inhalers. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde is urging all asthma patients to dispose of their used inhalers correctly in a bid to cut down on their environmental impact. The Health Board says by returning old inhalers to local pharmacies, patients can minimise their carbon footprint, as the Health Service has specialist waste management facilities which destroy any remaining gases from the inhalers through environmentally friendly methods. The process helps ensure potent greenhouse gases are not released back into the environment. Inhalers are a vital treatment for those suffering with asthma, and approximately 45 million inhalers are used by asthma patients in the UK every year. However, they contain greenhouse gases that are 1,000 times more potent than carbon dioxide. By returning used inhalers to pharmacies, patients can help reduce the impact of these gases and support the collective drive towards net zero. The board stresses it is important to continue to use your inhaler as prescribed, and it should be noted that the gases are not harmful to patients. Commenting, Dr Peter Costin, GP, on NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde's Clinical Sustainability Group said, "Inhalers are absolutely crucial medical interventions for a large number of people across NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, but it's really important that patients know how to dispose of them appropriately. If we put them in a regular household waste or recycling bin, unfortunately any remaining gases will be released into the atmosphere, which damages the environment. That's why we're reminding patients to bring them back to the pharmacy. We have specialist disposal units to help ensure no unnecessary gases are released. Patients can also speak to their pharmacist to learn more about reducing their environmental impact when using inhalers."
Making a difference. Areas across East Dunbartonshire have been transformed by people carrying out unpaid work as part of community payback orders. Teams painted railings in public areas and also helped create a special trauma-informed garden at the Justice Social Work offices to help improve well-being for visitors. There were various projects highlighted in the new annual CPO report 2021-22, which has just been published by Community Justice Scotland. It reveals how people carrying out CPOs have been held to account and supported to reconnect and contribute to their communities. Unpaid work teams were also praised by the Mulgai Community Development Trust for improvements to areas near the local pond. And residents at Stockymuir and Burnbank sheltered housing complexes thanked the workers for the help received. One person who carried out unpaid work reported, Learning new skills can be valuable in allowing an individual the prospect of future employment in which they can adapt their new skills and use them in a positive way to prevent reoffending in the future. Another said, although both supervision and unpaid work should not be seen as an enjoyable experience, I have to admit that it has been something from which I have learned and adhered to, and I have benefited from hindsight and recognised failings that led me down this path. Commenting, Stephen McGinley, unpaid work manager for East Dunbartonshire Justice Services, said, people carrying out unpaid work have been involved in many projects, giving them the chance to give something back and learn new skills to help them reintegrate back into communities. Catherine Dyer, Chair, Community Justice Scotland, said, community payback orders are a vitally important component of community justice. They allow people to acknowledge the harms caused by their behaviours, take steps to contribute positively to the community, but also to address some of the drivers of their offending. Communities right across Scotland have benefited as a direct result of people fulfilling CPOs, in spite of the unprecedented challenges due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as issues faced by organisations affected by public finance restraints. Community Justice Scotland will continue to drive improvement by monitoring and supporting all involved in the making and delivery of CPOs, because the evidence shows that justice based on a community-first approach is the best way to help individuals stop offending.
New awards launched. Pam Gossel MSP has launched a new awards competition to thank volunteers across East and West Dunbartonshire for their hard work. The Scottish Conservative MSP announced on Monday that she will hold the volunteer awards to celebrate the fantastic people who make our local communities a better place. Pam Gossel said she wanted to recognise the dedication and kindness of volunteers across East and West Dunbartonshire. The competition will run for 6 weeks, closing on Monday, May the 22nd, with winners announced during Volunteers Week, which runs from June 1st to 7th. Nominations are now open for any member of the public to nominate a volunteer who deserves to be recognised. The West of Scotland MSP said, volunteers are the backbone of our communities. Many services in our local areas would not be able to function without the dedication, hard work and kindness of volunteers. These unsung heroes support services that make a genuine difference to people's lives. So, this year, we are holding Volunteer of the Year awards for both East Dunbartonshire and West Dunbartonshire to celebrate the fantastic volunteers who make our communities a better place. The competition is now open for any member of the public to nominate someone they think should win. Please get involved so we can recognise the fantastic work volunteers across East and West Dunbartonshire. Nominations can be made via the website at www.pamgossel.org.uk/East and West Dunbartonshire Volunteer Year Awards.
MSP's delight at bus figures. Local MSP Rona Mackay says she is delighted new figures have reached 100 million concessionary bus journeys are being taken each year thanks to increased investment from the Scottish Government. Since 2014-15, over 894 million concessionary bus trips have been made across Scotland by passengers holding a concessionary travel card, including people over 60 years old, those with a qualifying disability, and young people under 22 years old. Rona Mackay, SNP MSP for Strathkelvin Bearsden, said, I am delighted that people in East Dunbartonshire and right across Scotland are taking full advantage of the concessionary travel cards available to them. These figures underline the SNP's commitment to widening access to free bus travel. From increasing eligibility of the concessionary travel card to include injured veterans to rolling out free bus travel for young people under 22, we are making sure people can get around without being put out of pocket.
It does mean a thing when it does have swing. From performing for some of Hollywood's elite to playing sellout venues across Scotland, La Dolce Vita Swing Collective promise to keep your toes a-tapping and your hearts a-dancing as they bring the timeless appeal of the Rat Pack sound to Bishopbriggs Fort Theatre next month. This 5-piece swing/jazz band, featuring piano, bass, sax, drums and vocals, perform those timeless iconic melodies made famous by some of the greats that ever graced the Vegas stage. Vocalist Tony Delicata put together the band with a collection of musicians whose previous talents ranged from West End musicals to the Jules Holland Band. Tony has been surrounded by music all his life. As a youngster, he could be found upsetting his neighbours playing his guitar till all hours or performing with some band or another, all while singing with the renowned St Mary's Cathedral Choir in Edinburgh. Tony was spellbound by the likes of Frank Sinatra, Perry Como, Dean Martin and Nat King Cole, ever since his nonna in Italy sang the Italian classic Volare to him as a nighttime lullaby. Tony said, "We tip our hats and celebrate the Rat Pack and their friends with their take on music by artists such as Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Tony Bennett, Ella Fitzgerald, Bobby Darin, Louis Prima and many more from this classic time, primarily using our own arrangements. We also make full use of my Italian roots, performing many of those Chico Think Dean Martin iconic melodies, such as Evening in Roma and Volare, as well as giving our own swing/jazz treatment to some vintage Italian pop. And our audiences, we'll see them starting off with a hum, then a tap of the toe, and before you know, they're singing along to the songs that we all know so well. There is more information on the band, including biographies, images and footage on their website, www.dolcevitaswing.com, or YouTube channel, www.youtube.com. La Dolce Vita Swing Collective will be performing at the Fort Theatre, Kenmure Avenue, Bishopbriggs, on Saturday, May the 20th at 7:30pm. For ticket information, go to www.dolcevitaswing.com.
Service up for award. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde's innovative treatment, which allows COPD patients to receive care and monitor their condition from home, has been shortlisted for a prestigious award. The Dynamic project is in the running for the Optimising Clinical Pathways Through Digital Award at the inaugural Health Service Journal (HSG) Digital Awards (HSGI), recognising the contribution and positive impact this work is having on patients in Greater Glasgow and Clyde, Scotland and beyond. An expert judging panel will assess the final shortlist before announcing the winner being revealed at an awards ceremony later this year on June 22nd. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, affects more than 1.2 million people in the UK and is the second leading cause of emergency hospital admission. This digital service, developed by Linus Health with extensive patient and clinician input at NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde in the West of Scotland Innovation Hub, has been successfully evaluated, showing sustained use and reduced admissions, and scaled to 500 patients with COPD across the health board to provide supported self-management. Dr. Chris Carlin, consultant respiratory physician at NHS GGC and project lead, said, "The whole team are delighted to have been shortlisted for an HSGI Digital Award. It underlines the hard work that has been going on to improve the patient experience and provide them with the same high standards of care from home. We're seeing more and more patients engaging with the dynamic system, and they know that when they have a flare-up in their symptoms, they don't need to press the crisis button. They don't need to present themselves to the emergency department. They can speak with an expert through the app who can provide real-time updates, advice and treatment. This system not only has a hugely positive impact on the patients using it, but on hospital teams too. As part of the project, the world's first predictive AI models for use in direct care of COPD have also been developed and trialled under the Dynamic AI clinical investigation.
Business Mentors Wanted. An organisation leading the drive toward net zero is looking for more Dunbartonshire-based business and industry mentors to help the next generation develop carbon-cutting solutions. Fuel Change is an organisation working with businesses and schools to enable apprentices and new graduates to help develop solutions to the climate crisis. Its challenge programme forms project teams of young people from businesses and organisations and sets them real-world carbon reduction challenges. The challenge tasks are set by industry and worked on over a 16-week period, after which findings are presented to a judging panel with a view to progressing ideas to the implementation stage. Mentors work with a group for a couple of hours per week to help them refine their ideas. Anyone who thinks they have the skills and experience to become a fuel change mentor should contact co-founder Jennifer Tempany at jennifer.tempany@fuel-change.co.uk.
The Seat of Devolution. Presiding Chair is Museum Gift. Report by Julie Curry. The presiding officer's chair from what would have become the Scottish Parliament building in the event of a vote for devolution in the 1979 referendum has been gifted to the National Museum Scotland. It had been intended that the Scottish Assembly, as it was referred to at the time, would sit in the former Royal High School building on Calton Hill in central Edinburgh, and plans were sufficiently advanced for the debating chamber to have been furnished. However, the referendum did not secure the required number of votes to achieve devolution. When the vote for devolution was later carried in 1997, the decision was taken to build a brand new purpose-built Scottish Parliament building, and so the chair was never used for its intended purpose. Georgia Villings, Assistant Curator of Modern and Contemporary History, said, "We are pleased to be able to acquire this object. The furniture represents a key moment in the story of devolution and the history of Scottish politics. This large, blocky chair and its futuristic design is emblematic of a confidence in significant political change for Scotland in the late 1970s, but which did not ultimately happen at that time. This generous donation will allow us to better tell the story of that fascinating moment in Scotland's history through our collections." The former Royal High School building is now undergoing a major restoration, which will see it repurposed as a world-class centre for music education and public performance for the benefit of the whole of Scotland as a National Centre for Music. The Royal High School Preservation Trust, RHSPT, is leading the project and took possession of the building in March. William Gray Muir, chair of the RHSPT, said, "We are delighted that this piece of constitutional history will have a fitting home in the National Museum, where it can help tell the story of how modern Scottish politics encountered the legacy of the Scottish Enlightenment. The significance of Thomas Hamilton building the Old Royal High, and its symbolic importance to our national political and social ambitions is indisputable, and its past, present and future form a critical part of Edinburgh's status in the world. The Trust's aim is that we add a new chapter to that story, and the building's relationship with Scottish heritage and National Museum will continue." Although the Scottish Assembly never occupied the building, the site of the Royal High School remained a focal point in the debate over devolution, with images of the building used in campaign material, and a vigil for a Scottish Parliament was held outside the building for 1,980 days from April the 10th, 1992 until the 1997 referendum. The tent from the touring campaign and related material are on display in the National Museum of Scotland. The chair is now at the National Museum's Collection Centre in Edinburgh for conservation treatment. National Collection. National Museum Scotland is one of the leading museum groups in the UK, and it looks after collections of national and international importance. The organisation provides loans, partnerships, research and training in Scotland as well as internationally. Individual museums are the National Museum of Scotland, the National Museum of Flight, the National Museum of Rural Life and the National War Museum. The National Museum's Collection Centre in Edinburgh houses conservation and research facilities, as well as collections not currently on display. To find out more about its work and the collections, visit www.nms.ac.uk.
Cracking result for NHS 24 over Easter weekend. NHS 24 helped more people than ever over the 4-day Easter weekend. NHS 24's online service, NHS Inform, saw a significant increase in use over this time, as Scots increasingly choose to find digital solutions to their health issues. There was a 44% jump in visitors to the site compared to Easter 2022 and a 46% increase in accessing NHS 24's online symptoms checkers and care guides. Pauline Howie, NHS 24's Service Delivery Director, said it was good news, not only for NHS 24, but for the whole NHS and communities. She said, "We all know that the bank holidays can be especially challenging for our NHS. We plan our 111 service to meet the increased demand, but we also ask the public to help us in two ways. Planning ahead and checking NHS Inform as their first port of call. Planning ahead is important because it means people can deal with any minor health issues at home without the need to call us. A lot of our calls are about medicines, so we remind people to check their repeat medications, make sure they have enough, and to have some home remedies just in case. Using NHS Inform or our new phone app, NHS 24 Online, is convenient and can often help avoid the need to contact a healthcare professional because most issues can be dealt with quickly and easily using the self-help guides. We also have a service directory, which means people can find a service nearby. Using NHS Inform first might mean you don't even need to call us, which can leave us with more time to help people with perhaps more complex healthcare needs. The 46% increase in using self-help guides compared with last Easter is a fantastic result and shows that people across Scotland are saving time by checking online first. The figure was also up by 4% on the previous weekend, so we are seeing a shift in the way people get their healthcare questions answered. This is good news for the 111 service, which has just answered more than 31,000 calls over the Easter weekend. That's 2,000 more than last year, and callers waited an average of just 10 minutes to get through to the service. The dedication of NHS 24 colleagues in delivering an ever-improving service.
Family announcements. Deaths. Coleman, Teresa. Suddenly at home on Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. Teresa, beloved wife of the late Eddie, much-loved sister of Roseanne, the late John, Nancy, Mary and Margaret, and a loving aunt to her nieces and nephews. Fortified by the rites of the Holy Catholic Church, RIP. Reception and visual at St Ninian's RC Church on Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Funeral Mass to take place on Wednesday, April 26th at 10 a.m. and thereafter to Old Isle Cemetery. Mick Mahone, Lorraine. Peacefully after a short illness at Glasgow Royal Infirmary on Monday, April 10th, 2023. Lorraine, beloved wife of the late Hughie, formerly of Birdston, and a much-loved mum, granny and great-granny. Fortified by the rites of the Holy Catholic Church, RIP. Reception and vigil at Holy Family and St Ninian's RC Church, Kirkintilloch, on Friday, April 21st at 7 p.m. Funeral Mass will take place on Saturday, April 22nd at 10 a.m. and thereafter to Daldowie Crematorium, Broom House, arriving at 12 noon. Suitor, John. Peacefully in his sleep, devoted husband of Elizabeth, much-loved dad of Lynn and Colin, and loving granddad of Blair and Lewis. Funeral service to take place at Maryhill Crematorium on Thursday, April 20th at 1:30 p.m. Announcements. Family notices. May Bank Holiday Deadlines 2023. For all notices to appear on Wednesday the 3rd of May, the deadline is Friday the 28th of April at 3 p.m. For all notices to appear on Wednesday the 10th of May, the deadline is Friday the 5th of May at 3 p.m. For all notices to appear on Wednesday the 31st of March,
The deadline is Friday the 26th of May at 3 p.m. Telephone lines will be closed for the May bank holidays on the Friday before at 5:30 p.m. and will reopen on the Tuesday afterwards at 9 a.m.
Parkinson's Patients Medication Drive. Parkinson's UK has teamed up with the Scottish Ambulance Service, SAS, as part of our drive to get medication on time to people with Parkinson's. Last week, the charity presented SAS with a specially prepared guide which sets out advice for crews to follow when transporting people with Parkinson's to hospital. It is vital that people with Parkinson's take their medication within 30 minutes of the prescribed time. Even a slight delay can have serious implications. Further delays and missed medications can cause some long-lasting harm for someone living with Parkinson's. In order to ensure medication is not forgotten or overlooked on a journey to hospital, either for a scheduled appointment or emergency treatment, Parkinson's UK produced a fact sheet which will now be made available to every ambulance team in Scotland. SAS will share the guide through its internal communications channels. James Jopling, Scotland Director for Parkinson's UK, presented the fact sheet to Laura Scott-Stewart, Paramedic Clinical Team Leader with the Scottish Ambulance Service, last week. Parkinson's is the fastest growing neurological condition in the world and affects an estimated 12,500 people in Scotland. James said, "We work with professionals in different settings across the country to help people with Parkinson's get their medication on time, every time. It's been great collaborating with the Scottish Ambulance Service on this initiative, which we hope will support timely access to medication when people with Parkinson's are being transported to hospital. This is more important than ever, with the health service under great pressure and reports of longer waiting times in A&E departments." Pauline Howie, Chief Executive of the Scottish Ambulance Service, added, "We're pleased to team up with Parkinson's UK to ensure all our scheduled care and emergency crews can help patients with Parkinson's to take their medications in time. This campaign is also a vital reminder to those with a diagnosis and their families that it is imperative to take medications at the right time. We'll be sharing the guidelines across the organisation, as well as highlighting the work of Parkinson's UK."
Demand for staff. The Scottish Ambulance Service has recruited a record 1,388 staff and introduced 52 additional ambulances in the past 3 years as part of its Demand and Capacity programme. Launched in 2019, the programme is the largest and most complex ever undertaken at the Scottish Ambulance Service, with multi-million-pound investment from the Scottish Government enabling hundreds of new A&E staff, paramedics, technicians, ambulance care assistants and advanced practitioners to be recruited. This financial year, 464 frontline A&E staff have been recruited, along with a further 924 over the previous 2 years. Pauline Howie, Scottish Ambulance Service Chief Executive, said, "The increase in staffing and resources aims to provide patient safety and staff welfare and has involved a considerable amount of work behind the scenes."
The Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald's letters page date Wednesday the 19th of April 2023. Let's talk. SNP camper van fender recognition a big puncher for the party? Sir, political regimes can be in danger when their policies meet with disapproval from the electorate. Criticism can be telling, but it can also fail to gain traction if the party is popular with enough voters. This has even recently been the case with the SNP, until its leaders chose an improbable hill to die on, the Gender Recognition Reform Bill. It is estimated that 2/3 of Scots oppose the spending of perhaps £500,000 in challenging His Majesty's Government's imposition of a Section 35 order, halting the implementation of the bill. Yet what is much more dangerous for a regime is when it becomes ridiculous, when voters laugh at it. That is what is happening now, with the saga of the spanking new camper van that has graced Mrs. Murrow's driveway and done no more. The party's leadership efforts to conceal its existence, even from senior SNP figures, like the new party leader, have become a joke material for cartoonists. Who would have thought that Sturgeon's regime legacy would now be caricatured as an immobile mobile home? Yours, etc., Jill Stevenson, address supplied. Supporters of devolution should stand with USAF. Sir, it is a democratic outrage that Governor-General Jack used Section 35 to veto the democratic will of Scotland's Parliament, as supported by the SNP, Green, Labour and Lib Dem parties, for purely political reasons. If you support devolution, whatever your position on GRR, you should at least very least support Humza Yousaf's principle of standing up for Scotland's Parliament, if only to establish the limits of Holyrood's rights to legislate within its remit. The GRR bill clearly states that nothing in it impacts on the Equality Act. Westminster didn't ask for amendments to the bill through its 9-month passage in Holyrood, and have refused Scottish offers to work with the UK government on potential changes. If Alistair Jack and the UK Women and Equalities Minister, Kemi Badenoch, were confident in their positions, they would not have refused the invitations extended to appear before Holyrood committees where they could be cross-examined by MSPs from all parties. If Section 35 use isn't challenged, it will soon become the norm and result in even further erosion of the powers of our Scottish Parliament that has been reduced since the Westminster's power grab following Brexit. Yours, etc., Mary Thomas, by email. Move risks wasting time and money. Sir, it has been clear that the First Minister Humza Yousaf was in all likelihood going to challenge the decision by the UK government to block the Gender Recognition Reform Bill passed in the Scottish Parliament. The recent calamitous headlines around the SNP have made the decision purely as a diversionary tactic, regardless of the waste of public money and time that will be the result. Only Humza Yousaf could ignore the eminent Lord Hope, former Deputy President of the Supreme Court, who commented that the Scottish legislation most certainly does impact on the Equality Act 2004. Further, he notes that a court challenge is risking wasting a lot of time and money, and that the prospects of success were very low. Humza Yousaf will come to regret not following this sound advice. Yours, etc., Richard Allison, address supplied. Listen to the Islanders. Sir, the treasured Scottish Isles, enjoyed by so many tourists, are cared for by those who live and work there. However, our very way of life is threatened. First, by a ferry fiasco which has been used for political point scoring, with photo opportunities put ahead of construction. The fact Calmac really needed new ferries was a secondary consideration. Given this, and the overspend, surely someone should be held accountable. Second, by the proposed highly protected marine areas. These will stop many coastal activities and will devastate communities. The clearances again. This is another ill-thought policy from the SNP/Green Coalition. Can Edinburgh officials please listen to the Islanders? Yours, etc., Dot White, by email. Reader's Charter. This newspaper is built on the tradition of accuracy and fairness, giving you the information you need to understand our world, holding power to account and exposing injustice. Our trusted brand means we're the only place where you can read and participate in honest debates. We are committed to giving a voice to those who struggle to be heard, as well as those whose profession is crafting an argument. Our Reader's Charter spells out our commitment to you. You can read the Charter online at Kirky Herald at jnscotland.co.uk. Outdoor learning is key for education. A new report from Nature Scot and partners has highlighted how Scotland's children could be offered increased amounts of outdoor learning and play, stimulating a post-pandemic generation's connection to nature and its benefits. The most extensive research to be published since 2014 on the topic, the report was co-funded by Historic Environment Scotland, Scottish Forestry, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park Authority, and Cairngorms National Park Authority. It offers an in-depth picture of teaching, learning and play activity provided by staff working in 19 early years centres and 25 primary schools. The provision of outdoor learning and play in early years education in Scotland has increased compared to 2014 survey findings, rising from 36% of the day spent outdoors in 2014 to 39% in 2022. It continues to focus strongly on play and shows a small increase in off-site provision in woodland locations. Demonstrating the benefits of learning in nature over other outdoor spaces, the survey reports that over half of the events in woodlands, 9 out of 15, are at logs and coastal areas, 3 out of 4, were felt to enhance the challenge or enjoyment for pupils, while less than half of activities held in the school grounds were felt to offer the same benefits. Figures for primary school children, however, show a decrease from 24 minutes per pupil per week in 2014 to just 7 minutes in 2022. COVID restrictions meant outdoor experience residential school trips were uncommon, but this only accounts for part of the decline. Outdoor learning and play are key elements of Scotland's curriculum for excellence, aiming to support the improvement of young people's health, well-being and educational outcomes, achieving Scotland's target to become a nature-positive, net-zero country. While outdoor learning continues to be seen by teachers as a curriculum enhancing and enjoyable, considerable numbers of teachers across primary and early years lack confidence in offering it, with early years practitioners reporting higher confidence levels than primary teachers for both outdoor learning and learning for sustainability. Schools which are providing more outdoor learning time tend to be smaller. All schools offering more than 10 minutes per pupil per week of outdoor provision had a roll of less than 100 pupils, while schools located in more deprived areas face greater challenges. Sharon Cunningham, Nature Scott's outdoor learning advisor, said, "As our communities, early year centres and schools recover from the restrictions and pressures of the pandemic, Scotland's nature offers the key to healthy, engaging and valuable time spent playing and learning outdoors for our children. Given that we have seen a decline, Nature Scott looks forward to supporting the sector through these challenges as it builds the confidence of our educators, ensuring the next generation grow up to value and protect nature. Scotland's nature agency, Nature Scott, works to provide and restore nature by inspiring everyone to value our natural world." £950,000 to help Scottish veterans. £950,000 investment from the Scottish Government will help improve the health and well-being of older veterans in Scotland over the next 3 years. The funding was awarded to the Unforgotten Forces Partnership of Armed Forces and Civilian Charities, which delivers high quality and joined up support for ex-service men and women over the age of 60 in Scotland to continue its valuable work until March 2026. Led and coordinated by the National Charity for Older People, Age Scotland, Unforgotten Forces was set up in 2017 and has been funded by the Scottish Government since 2020. The partnership includes charities such as Poppy Scotland, Combat Stress, Erskine, Luminate, Fighting with Pride, Fairs for Free and Legion Scotland. Frank Gribben, Unforgotten Forces Coordinator for Age Scotland, said, "We are delighted the Scottish Government has recognised the value of Unforgotten Forces and the needs of older veterans communities and has invested in such a large amount in the partnership. This will allow us, over the next 3 years, to continue providing older members of Scotland's ex-armed forces community with a wide range of social opportunities and activities to improve their health and well-being, with tailored and high-quality support where it is needed. We are proud the partnership has asked Age Scotland to continue leading and coordinating Unforgotten Forces, and we really welcome the opportunity to do so. Unforgotten Forces offers support for ex-servicemen and women, which is matched to individual needs."
Nominate good cause to receive £1,000. Readers are being invited to nominate a good cause to receive £1,000 as part of Benefact Group's Movement for Good Awards. Now in their 5th year, the awards will once again see more than £1 million gifted to charities all over the UK and Ireland. Since the awards began, people in Scotland have submitted over 141,400 nominations, and 179 Scottish-based charities have benefited. While the pandemic and the current economic climate has had an adverse effect on cash donations, the amount of people choosing to volunteer their time for a good cause is rising. From today, Scottish residents can give a minute to nominate a charity online at www.movementforgood.com. That's www.movementforgood.com. The Movement for Goods Award has gifted over £4 million to charities in the UK and Ireland since the initiative started. Winners will be drawn at random, and the more times a charity is nominated, the more chance it has of being selected. 150 winning charities will be announced from June 1st, with a further 150 revealed in September. Further gifts will be awarded throughout the year. Mark Hughes, Benefit Group Chief Executive, said, "We are immensely proud to be supporting many hundreds of charities through our Movement for Goods Awards for the 5th year running. We know that £1,000 can make a huge difference, so we're asking that people give a minute of their time to nominate a cause they care about to receive an award. Owned by a charity ourselves, charitable giving is at the heart of what we do. Any charity can win, no matter how large or small, even with just one nomination." Adventurous stories sought. Readers are being asked to share their real-life stories by national charity Scottish Book Trust. In its 15th year, Scotland Stories is an annual writing opportunity where people can share a true story from their life around this year's theme of adventure. A selection of stories submitted will be published in a free book distributed during Book Week Scotland. Research has found that flexing your creative muscles can support mental health and well-being, increase happiness, and even delay or reduce symptoms of dementia. The charity wants as many people across Scotland to take part and enjoy the benefits of writing a story for fun. The opportunity is open to everyone in Scotland, whether they write regularly or haven't penned anything since school. Stories can be about everyday happenings to new challenges or once-in-a-lifetime adventure. Submissions of up to 1,000 words can be made in English, Scots or Gaelic in any form: written story, poem, comic strip, play or letter. Audio and video formats are also welcomed. Mark Lambert, Scottish Book Trust CEO, said, "Scotland Stories is one of the highlights of our work, giving a platform to people all over Scotland. This opportunity is open to anyone, whether you see yourself as a writer or not. It is a privilege to collect and share these stories. We'd love to see as many people as possible pick up a pen and enjoy the positive benefits of writing for pleasure." A selection of stories will be chosen to be published in a free book distributed across Scotland during Book Week Scotland from November 13th to 19th. All entries will also appear on the Trust website. The Trust has also commissioned pieces from several writers: poet, columnist and performer Len Penny, current Scots screever Shane Strachan, poet and spoken word performer May Diasangu, author and food writer Sumayama Usmani, and Gaelic writers Sinead Charity and Alistair Paul. Stories should be submitted by no later than Friday, June the 2nd via scottishbooktrust.com/about-scotland's-stories. That's scottishbooktrust.com/about-scotland's-stories, or by post to Scotland Stories, Scottish Book Trust, Sandman House, Trunks Close, 55 High Street, Edinburgh, EH1 1SR. That's Scotland Stories, Scottish Book Trust, Sandman House, Trunks Close, 55 High Street, Edinburgh, EH1 1SR.
Check if you're eligible for benefits. Disabled people are being urged to find out if they are eligible for Scottish Government disability benefits as part of a new campaign to increase benefit take-up. The campaign aims to raise awareness about financial support available to help with the extra costs disabled children and adults may face. Child Disability Payment provides financial support to help families and carers with the extra costs of caring for a disabled child, a young person, or a child or young person with a long-term condition. Adult disability payment is available to people aged between 16 and state pension age who are disabled, have a long-term health condition or a terminal illness. These benefits are administered by Social Security Scotland and replace the Department for Work and Pensions Disability Living Allowance for Children (DLA) and Personal Independence Payment.
District News, Churches. Kirkintilloch, Springfield Cambridge Church, Reverend Edson Dukaki de Castro will return to lead his final service with us for morning worship on Sunday the 23rd of April and will assist Reverend Ian Taylor and Mrs. Julie Arty in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. The Sunday school meets in room 2. There is also a creche facility where we will be happy to look after your child, birth to 3 years, in room 2. Morning worship has also been live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. Tea and coffee will be available after church in room 1. Come and enjoy the fellowship. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, April the 19th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for anyone who would like to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, April 19th from 11:10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m, followed by tea and coffee served in the Hall of Fellowship. On Saturday, April the 29th, the Anchor Boys will be holding their coffee morning from 10 a.m. to noon in the Cameron Hall. Also on the evening of Saturday, April the 29th, the BB Junior section are holding a Beetle Drive. Tickets will be on sale soon. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street, this Wednesday, is our Coffee Corner Spring Special from noon to 2 p.m. Join us for lunch, followed by a lively programme, including a seasonal quiz, a topical music video, and a talk from our guest speaker John Black, a West of Scotland farmer. On Sunday, there will be a Zoom service at 6:30 p.m. The speaker will be Brian Johnson, missionary and broadcaster. A warm invitation to everyone who is able to join us on Zoom. Access details for the stream can be obtained by emailing hello@regenthall.org. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "You must be born again." John chapter 3 verse 7. St David's Memorial Park Church. At St David's Memorial Park Church, our Sunday morning service on April the 23rd will be at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome to attend our service. During the service, school-aged children will have the opportunity to go through to our halls with the leaders of JAM for their own time of fun and learning. Our Tuesday lunchtime service will be held each Tuesday from noon in our small hall. Our next service will be April the 25th. All are welcome to attend this afternoon service. We wish to thank all the volunteers who worked to welcome, provide food and company during the Warm Spaces initiative that is now finished for the time being. Our next Saturday at SDMP will be on April the 29th from 10 a.m. to noon. This is a free event for all primary age children where they will be involved in arts and crafts. Please see detail on our Facebook page for contact details on how to register for this event. Coronation Lunch. Our neighbours at St Mary's Parish Church have invited us to join them for a lunch on Sunday, May the 7th, to celebrate the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III. Tickets are £15 for adults, half price for children 13 to 16, and free to those younger ones under 12. When you buy your ticket, you will be asked to make your meal choice of steak pie or chicken. Tickets can be bought from Isabel McGregor or myself and will be on sale until Sunday, April the 30th. This will be a great opportunity to enjoy some fellowship with our friends at St Mary's and for all of us to get to know each other as we celebrate the coronation of our new King. St Mary's Parish Church. Wednesday welcome will return on April the 26th. Tickets for the coronation lunch are on sale. They will cost £15 for the 3-course lunch. When buying your ticket, please be ready to indicate your choice of main course, steak pie or roast chicken, and tell us of any dietary requirements. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector Reverend Canon Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080. There is a communion service in the chapel on Thursday, April the 20th at 11 a.m. On Sunday, April the 23rd, there is a communion service in the chapel at 9 a.m. and at 10:30 a.m. in the church there will be a service of the Word with a presentation by a representative of the East Dunbartonshire Council after the service on principles and practices of recycling. This has been set up by our Eco Group. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea and coffee afterwards. There are also other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media Facebook, St James the Less, Bishopbriggs, website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Kenmure Parish Church. We are looking forward to once again welcoming Kay Gardner to lead in our warm morning worship this Sunday at 11 a.m. All are very welcome to attend, but if you can't, then the service is live streamed on YouTube. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. All are welcome to come along and enjoy some tea, coffee and home baking, along with a lively chat with old and new friends in a warm and friendly atmosphere at our Thursday morning tea room that is open from 10:30 till noon. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Home Church, Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. One church, 3 locations, Kirkintilloch, Stornoway and online. A church for all ages. The angel spoke to the woman at the tomb. I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He isn't here. He has risen from the dead just as he said would happen. Matthew chapter 8 verses 5 to 6. Sunday, April the 23rd, 9:30 a.m, communion. 10 a.m, prayer meeting followed by refreshments. 11 a.m, worship service, children's church and creche followed by refreshments. The following activities resume this week. Tuesdays, engine room Bible study on Zoom at 2:30 p.m, also Bible study in the church at 7:15 p.m. Wednesdays, mothers and babies 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Home groups for prayer and Bible study. Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. and online. New group starting for young adults 18 to 25. Fridays, youth fellowship at 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. See Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date information. Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins in the church at 11 a.m. There is a Sunday school for children aged 3 years to primary 7 and a focus for secondary pupils. Creche is available for children under 3. Monday, April 24th, Time Out, the friendly and welcoming group for ladies of all ages, meets in the church at 7:45 p.m. St Columba's Hillhead Church. St Columba's Hillhead Church has 2 sites, St Columba's and Hillhead. Do join us for our Sunday morning service at St Columba's at 10 a.m. or at Hillhead at 11:30 a.m. Tea, coffee and juice are served after the service at St Columba's and before the service at Hillhead. We'd love to meet you there, but if you really can't come in person, you can still connect with us by live stream via www.kirkintillochstcolumbus.org.uk or by searching for St Columba's Hillhead Kirkintilloch on YouTube. We have a shorter midweek service at St Columba's on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. We are offering free hot drinks and biscuits that are warm welcome at Hillhead 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesday afternoons. Call in if you can. Reverend Philip Wright, Minister, St Columba's Hillhead Church, Odell Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 3HQ, and 2 Rosebank Avenue, Kirkintilloch, G66 2PR. P. Wright, at churchofscotland.org.uk, mobile 07427 623 393. Cadder Parish Church. For full intimations, please see website www.cadderchurch.org. We look forward to welcoming you this coming Sunday to our morning service, which is at 10:30 a.m. in Cadder Parish Church. The service will be led by Reverend John McGregor and Jose Javier Incento Malo, MMUS. Children, Cadder Kids, meet in the church prior to the service and then go up to Cadder North Hall for their activities. Tea and coffee served after the service. Food Bank. If you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Early Fellowship meets in the South Hall Chapel at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday for half an hour with Reverend John McGregor, and also available Tuesday and Thursday on Zoom. For further details, contact the minister. The coffee shop at Cadder South Hall is open on Tuesday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Friday 10 a.m. to noon. Girls Brigade, Tuesday Explorers, Primary 1 to Primary 3, 16 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. Juniors, Primary 4 to Primary 7, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Brigaders, S1 to S6, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Boys Brigade, Anchor Boys, Monday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Junior Section, Monday, 7:15 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Company/Senior Section, Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Lanesey Union Parish Church. Sunday morning worship is at 11 a.m. led by Reverend Dan Carmichael. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. Sunday evening service is at 7 p.m. in the new hall. The Meeting Place Coffee Shop is open on Wednesdays 10 a.m. to noon in the new hall. Meet your friends and enjoy a chat over a cup of tea or coffee. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The drop-in and youth cafe returns from the Easter break on Thursday, April the 27th from 3:45 p.m. to 5 p.m. Each week there is a free snack, with lots of different things to do, such as games consoles, table tennis, arts and craft, board games. The coffee pot is open on Fridays 10 a.m. to noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Messy Church is on Saturday, April the 22nd from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the new hall. Everyone is welcome to come along to a fun-filled hour. Challenges, crafts and experiments. Please book a place so if arrangements alter, we can contact you. Text 07774 192 659. Art for Seniors is on Monday, April the 24th at 1:30 p.m. in the new hall. Enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Bev McCluskey. No experience needed. Contact Margaret on 0779 216 8826 to book your place. District News General, Wednesday the 19th of April 2023. Otis enjoys a good cuddle. He adores people and is looking for an adult-only home. Otis is a true hound and loves lots of sniffing, exploring and putting his nose to good work. He's looking for owners who have knowledge or experience of owning similar dogs. He can be worried by other dogs and prefers to walk in quiet areas where he is unlikely to meet them. He's a playful lad who would love a garden where he can chase his favourite squeaky ball all day long. He will bring boundless joy and affection into the life of his new family. If you think you can provide a home for Otis or any of the 50 dogs currently available for rehoming, please contact the West Calder Rehoming Centre on 01506 873 459. Westminster View, Scotland Welcomes Refugees by Amy Callaghan MP. This is not a slogan, it is not a tagline, it is a statement of the kind of country we want to be. But the UK government does not share this aspiration. First, we had the Nationality and Borders Bill, a cruel, unworkable and unnecessary piece of legislation that slashed support for victims of modern slavery and attempted to criminalise refugees, irrespective of the validity of their asylum application. It was opposed by the public, charities and even shops like Lush. The New York Times described it as a stiffening of Britain's already hawkish immigration policy, and one that included draconian measures. In the face of that opposition, the Tories rammed through the bill to make the UK an undesirable, near impossible place to seek refuge and ultimately stop the boats. It didn't work. Undeterred, the UK government has come back with another anti-refugee bill. The Home Secretary promises us that this time the illegal immigration bill will really stop the boats. The bill will be shamefully make refugees arriving in boats illegal, not the people smugglers or traffickers, but those being taken advantage of. Not only is this abhorrent, but this is, by the Home Secretary's own admission, it has about a 50% chance of breaking international law. The bill will have its third reading this week, with mere hours spent debating it in its entirety. Let me be clear, no human being is illegal, and I stand with my party in calling out this utterly shameful and immoral bill that goes against everything we value. Unfortunately, this is the reality of having our immigration policies tied to Westminster. That is why Scotland needs full control over immigration, not only to have a compassionate refugee policy, but also to attract more people to our shores. Scotland's population is projected to fall by 400,000 by 2072. That will stimulate economic growth, lower our tax base, and impact funding for our public services. We need immigration policies tailored to our specific needs as a country, and one that upholds our international obligations. We need a refugee and asylum policy based on compassion. We need modern slavery laws that protect the most vulnerable. Only then can we say, as a matter of fact, not just aspiration, Scotland welcomes refugees. The Tale of Robin Hood. The 10-stamp set depicts key moments in the famous legend of Robin Hood, from him being outlawed to his marriage to Maid Marian and his death, and including popular characters such as Friar Tuck, the Sheriff and King Richard. The powerful illustrations were created exclusively for Royal Mail by British award-winning concept artist John McCoy. Royal Mail worked with Dr. Leslie Coote, Fellow of the University of Hull School of Humanities, and established expert on Robin Hood. The stamps went on general sale on April the 13th at www.royalmail.com/robinhood and by telephone on 0345 7641 641. All 10 stamps that are in the presentation part are priced at £11.90. Horticultural Society. Members of the Kirkintilloch Horticultural Society last met in March, when we enjoyed a good display of entries for our Spring Flower Show, then taxed our brains competing in a fun, mainly plant-based quiz. As, like last year, it has been a late growing season, members are encouraged to also bring plants and flowers to our next meeting. This will take place in Enterprise House on Thursday, April the 20th, from 7:30pm to 9:30pm, and our speaker will be Heidi Stone, who will talk to us about the history of Scotland's garden scheme and the gardens that open under it. Potential new members will be made welcome in the night, or alternatively can find out more about the Society by calling Paul Malcolm on 0141 578 1520 or visiting our website www.kirkintillochhorty.org.uk. Fund boost for veterans. A £950,000 investment from the Scottish Government will help improve the health and well-being of older veterans in Scotland over the next 3 years. The funding was awarded to the Unforgotten Forces Partnership of Armed Forces and Civilian Charities, who deliver high-quality and joined-up support for ex-service men and women over the age of 60 in Scotland to continue their valuable work until March 2026. Led and coordinated by the National Charity for Older People Aged Scotland, Unforgotten Forces was set up in 2017 and has been previously funded by the Scottish Government since 2020. The partnership includes charities such as Poppy Scotland, Combat Stress, Erskine, Luminate, Fighting with Pride, Fairs for Free and Legion, Scotland.
Planning notices. East Dunbartonshire Council public notices. The East Dunbartonshire Council, Cadder Road, Bishopbriggs. Temporary closure. Order 2023. On the 18th of April 2023, the East Dunbartonshire Council made the above named order under Section 14 brackets 1 of the Road Traffic Regulation Act 1984 as amended, which makes it unlawful for any person to drive or cause or permit to be driven any motor vehicle, with the exception of emergency service vehicles, vehicles engaged in the works, and those vehicles requiring access to properties adjacent to the closed section of road when it is safe and practical to do so, on Cadder Road, Bishopbriggs, between its junctions with Allen Glennet Gardens / Cadder Way and the south east side of the existing bridge at the Forth and Clyde Canal, by reason of works being executed on or near this road. This order will operate from 8 a.m. on Friday the 28th of April until 6 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of May 2023. Alternative route. There are no alternative routes. SGD Karen Donnelly, Chief Solicitor and Monitoring Officer, Legal Services, East Dunbartonshire Council Headquarters, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Civic Government (Scotland) Act 1982. Application for renewal of a second-hand vehicle dealer licence. The undernoted has applied for the renewal of a second-hand vehicle dealer licence in terms of the above Act. Name and address of applicant: Arnold Clark Automobiles Limited, 454 Hillington Road, Glasgow, G52 4FH. Day-to-day manager: David Munton, 8 Muirkirk Gardens, Strathaven, M40 6FS. Premises: Arnold Clark, 64 Kirkintilloch Road, Bishopbriggs, G64 2AH. Hours of business: Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Any objections or representations in terms of paragraph 3 brackets 1 of Schedule 1 of the Act should be logged with the undernoted no later than 28 days from the publication date of the newspaper in which this advertisement appears. Deputy Chief Executive, Education, People and Business, East Dunbartonshire Council, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Members' surgeries. Councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker. Councillor Pamela Marshall. 22nd of April 2023. Kirkintilloch Hub, Room 1. 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. 22nd of April 2023. Hillhead Community Centre, Room 2. 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon. 22nd of April 2023. Twecker Healthy Living and Enterprise Centre. 12:15 p.m. until 1 p.m. Ward 7. Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker. Councillor Susan Murray. 19th of April 2023. The Hub, William Patrick Library, 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m, Room 1. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker, Councillor Stuart MacDonald. 19th of April 2023, Twecker Healthy Living Centre, 5:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. 19th of April 2023, Hillhead Community Centre, 6:15pm until 6:45pm. Between surgeries, counsellors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 12345 10. Events held in Asher's memory. An article by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. A church service, send-off and celebration of life in memory of former West Park United goalkeeper Asher Tumwaiuki will take place tomorrow, Thursday. The 19-year-old was killed in a crash on the M8 near Newhouse last month when the car he was driving collided with a stationary lorry. The City of Glasgow College student, who was born in London before moving to Glasgow, was returning home from visiting his friend Esther Akaju when the accident happened. She set up a GoFundMe page to help cover the costs of organising his send-off that has raised nearly £12,000 so far from more than 600 donations. Esther wrote, "Asher left an indelible mark on all those who knew him, making our world a better place through his kindness, compassion and unwavering spirit. As we come together in celebrating his life and legacy, let us keep his memory alive in our hearts forever. We thank you for your support during this difficult time. Your love, kindness and generosity are invaluable as we work through our grief and ensure that Asher's memory lives on." Tom Waiuki played for West Park from March 2019 to May 2021, before concentrating on his studies as he hoped to become a sports therapist. All the club's teams held a minute's silence before their games on the first weekend of the month, and then helped organise a football tournament at Hunters Hill's Sports Hub on April 9th. That was followed by a balloon release. West Park tweeted, "The club was honoured to assist in a small way with organising the tournament yesterday in memory of Asher. His memory was honoured by the many friends who made it along." The church service will take place at 11 a.m. at RCCG, City of God, followed by the send-off at Redray Park Cemetery at 1 p.m. and the celebration of life at the City of Glasgow College at 2 p.m. For more information, visit www.gofundme.com/f/Asher Tumwaiuki, which is spelt ASHER for Asher, followed by TUMWIJUKYE. Again, Tumwaiuki is TUMWIJUKYE. That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. City lose their first league game of the season. Glasgow City lost their first league game of the season on Sunday as Celtic won 4-2 at Petershill Park to cut the gap at the top to 5 points. The away side took the lead after 15 minutes as Jacinta Galabad-Arachichi, I apologise if I've said that wrong, I have no idea how to pronounce that, set up Natalie Ross to score. They doubled their advantage on 32 minutes as Natasha Flint lobbed in before City's Priscilla Chinchilla was denied by the post. City did pull one back 7 minutes into the second half as Lauren Davidson crossed for Chinchilla to make no mistake from close range. Straight from kick-off, Lee Gibson saved a Chloe Craig penalty. But just a minute later, Celtic scored again as Caitlin Hayes headed in and Flint made it 4-1 with her second on 64 minutes. City made it 4-2 as Davidson crossed for Hayley Lauder to find an empty net, and there was still time for late drama as City's Claire Walsh's header hit the bar, and Gibson saved another penalty to deny Flint her hat-trick, but There was no further scoring. City host Rangers in the league tonight, and then meet Celtic at Hampden on Sunday in the Scottish Cup semi-final. Rossvale women face a double-header in the Championship as they beat Morton 6-0 at home on Friday, and then won 3-0 away to Hutchison Vale on Sunday. They are away to Dryborough Athletic tonight, Wednesday, and then host Inverness Caledonian Thistle on Sunday. West Park United won 5-2 away to Bishopton in SWFL West on Sunday, but have no fixture this weekend. 3 and easy as Rob Roy beat Gers. An article written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy made it 2 away wins on the bounce as they beat Cambuslang Rangers 3-0 in the WOS Premier Division on Saturday. The visitors took the lead in the first half as Chris O'Kane seized on a poor clearance to set up Robbie Young. His shot was blocked, but O'Kane was follow-up to sweep the ball into the net. Dean Keynes doubled the advantage in the second half as he fired into the top corner from fully 30 yards. Young wrapped up the 3 points as he got free down the left and squeezed the ball past the keeper for an acute angle. Rob Roy boss Kevin McGoldrick told the club's YouTube channel, "I think, considering the circumstances, the pitch wasn't great, and there was a wee bit of pressure on us, obviously, to get 3 points. The whole team performed very well." While the victory moved Rob Roy a little further from the relegation zone, Petershill found themselves back in the bottom 3 as they lost 4-0 away to Hurlford United. Rob Roy host Darvel on Saturday, while Petershill are at home to Glen Afton Athletic. Rossvale had no games at the weekend, but were in action last Wednesday in the First Division as they lost 4-1 at home to Gart Cairn, with Connor Hamilton grabbing a consolation in the 90th minute. The bottom of the table side are away to Thorneywood United on Saturday, and at home to Whitlets Victoria on Tuesday. Glasgow Perthshire remained 4th in the Second Division, just outside the promotion places, after a 2-2 draw away to 4th Wanderers on Saturday. Brogan Daly equalised after the home side took the lead before Jack Crumlish headed in his first goal for the club to give Shire a half-time lead. Wanderers drew level in the second half, and Shire had a big penalty claim waved away in the last minute, as they were forced to settle for a point. Second placed Ashfield had no game, allowing leaders Renfrew to open up a 10-point at the top. Ashfield are away to Yoker Athletic on Saturday, while Shire host Craigmark Burtonians. West Park United ended their championship-winning season in the 4th Division with a 3-2 win away to BSC Glasgow. That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels, review, and to tell your friends about our service.